Well, hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. No, it's not the last day of April. It's the second to last day of April, the 29th. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. I'm frantic. I know I'm here early because we got to head to the airport here very soon and I still have to pack. We have like an hour and that's it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The adventure begins soon. All right, let's get the show out there so I can pack and get on the road to the airport to catch my Southwest flight. And hopefully we'll fly over Busch Stadium during the Cardinals game. Yeah. And then we head down to Walt Disney World. I'm having dinner at Chicken Guy tonight, I think. They have a cool mac and cheese. Oh, yeah. All right. A little swig of soda and we'll get going. See what we can do for the next 30 minutes. Check. Okay, guys, don't yell. You can talk, but don't yell because I'm picking you up here. That's okay. Mike in the Midwest is usually recorded without a live studio audience. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Thursday and welcome to episode number 45 of Mike in the Midwest, a mini podcast for the amazing patrons of the Be Our Guest podcast. How are you doing? It's an exciting day around these parts because we are headed to Walt Disney World here this morning. That's right. We're a little bit early on the show. Usually record this mid-morning, jumping in first thing. I just got my run in and showered and cleaned up, but haven't packed yet. Haven't done any of that stuff, but wanted to get Mike in the Midwest out there for the amazing patrons of the show so that you had this in your feed in time and all that stuff. I want to make sure I always give you the podcast you deserve. So today we're going to do this and then I'll do another show when I get back. I'm getting back on Cinco de Mayo on the 5th next Wednesday. And then we'll have another Mike in the Midwest as scheduled next Thursday. So anyway, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Recording this on April 29th, 2021. So what is going on around here? Well, of course, we are headed to Walt Disney World, which I'll talk about why and what we have coming up on today's show. But of course, last week we talked about dropping in on the past. And the topic was if you could pick 3 times from your past that you could go back and experience is kind of a third person observer to just take in that day one more time. Like I talked about golfing with my grandpa, that baseball game with my good buddy Steve, where we won the North County Travel League championship. You know, days that when you're living them as a kid, you don't realize that day might stick with you 2, 3, 4 decades later. And here's the thing is I thought about this because Marlessa left some feedback, which I'm going to read here in just a second. But I was reading through her feedback on last week's show about how awesome it would be to have the opportunity to go back and just enjoy that day one more time. Not even to be a part of it again, maybe just to watch it. Maybe just to see the interactions between you and a loved one, or, get to see your grandparents again or something like that. But the thing is, I was thinking about this, and the kids that are younger today, like even, and I say kids, like my daughter she's graduating with her master's degree in a couple weekends out at Mizzou. We're really proud of her. But even in her generation, but especially in my younger daughter Mallory's generation, they're going to be able to go back and experience a lot of these moments through, Facebook posts and videos and YouTube, because a lot of this, I mean, if you're in my family, you have a lot of stuff on YouTube or on Instagram or on Twitter because we document stuff with our phones all the time. I mean, if you go into my Google Photos, it's amazing how much content I have there. And I'm reminded of this all the time when it gives me, and I'm sure you have the same thing, 2 years ago today, you were doing this, or, Apple makes these awesome little videos that I share a lot on Instagram IGTV, where you can kind of see it makes a montage of like 20 or 30 pictures and puts a little music behind it, little video clips. And I love that stuff. And I think that the younger folks, say 20, 25 and younger, they're not going to have the dilemma that I was talking about last week where, man, I wish I could go back. And because I don't have any still pictures of like my grandpa and I playing golf. Right. And we did this time and time again. I mean, we did it once a week for years. We went out to that golf course over in Illinois and played 9 holes and walked the course because we were too cheap to get a cart. And, the only place that memory, resides is my memory. My grandpa's gone now. So, it's with me only. I mean, I've told my dad, but my dad would have been working. My grandpa was retired. I was, out of school for the summer. And so we did that. So we were the only 2 active participants in that. So the only person right now that has that memory is me, which is kind of a cool thing, but it's kind of sad because it will die with me. And, with my daughters, if they're one of their days, hopefully someday they'll talk about, if I could go back to that, maybe Paige will say, man, if I could, one of those days that I had such a good time was when we went on that cruise to Cozumel, and Paige, Mike, and Scott did the amazing race in Cozumel. And we were all over that town. We were, and Paige got a henna tattoo as part of the amazing race. We had to decipher some code in this museum. She went and had to do like a snorkel dive down to the bottom to decode this thing under the water. If that's one of the days that she looks back in 30 years and says, that was an amazing day, we have pictures of that entire day. I was constantly taking pictures. I was taking video while we were going through the town. And Apple made a little movie out of it the other day that I shared on Instagram. So she won't have to just, relive it in her mind. She can go back and watch the videos, which I'm kind of jealous because I would so love to go back and see these places, like Cloverleaf Golf Course or NYA, where we won that championship that year. Just, but I mean, it is what it is, right? A memory is special. And if you don't have anything else, it's fine. It lives in your memory. And I think a lot of times our memories, we get rid of all the negative and it's only the positive that lives on, which I think is a good thing too, because like I said, Grandpa cheated at golf. He'd always say winner rules if he got a bad lie. And so it was fine. I didn't, and I don't remember. It was probably super hot or super cold a lot of the times we played. It was just fun looking back on it. But I am kind of jealous of everybody that has the memories of the videos nowadays. All right. So Marlessa left some feedback on dropping in on the past last week. So let me get to her comment. It says, this was a great episode. As you know, I'm a very nostalgic person myself. So selecting days from the past to observe would be difficult. But I know one day would definitely involve my maternal grandfather, who sadly passed away a few years ago. I'm someone who was lucky enough to grow up knowing all 4 grandparents, but my grandpa and I always had a particularly special bond, and I admired him greatly. He was an Army vet, told the best jokes, and was an incredibly talented artist, sang in the church choir, and more. Sounds a lot like my grandpa. After much debating, I think I know which day with Grandpa I'd choose. It was the day of our skit. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old at the time, and my mom and I were visiting my grandparents. I decided it would be fun for my grandpa and I to put on a skit for my mom and grandma. He and I spent hours thinking up and then practicing jokes, routines, etc., before we finally performed it for mom and grandma later that night. I'd give anything to relive even one day with my grandpa, and this one seems as good as any to choose if ever given the chance. I mean, how special is that, right? That's so cool. And I was also, and Marlessa mentions how lucky she was, and I was in the same boat. I was super lucky to grow up with all 4 of my grandparents. And I had them probably until almost high school, all 4 grandparents. And so I was super lucky because I know a lot of folks, you don't know your grandparents, maybe just know like 1 or 2. I had all 4, and they were all 4 special to me. And it was a special time. So thanks for sharing that, Melissa. That's a special story. And also I got to say this, I'm glad you did skits, because when Paige was little, my oldest, She had her best friend Molly. They were inseparable. They played soccer together. They did tap dancing and ballet together. They did everything together. We took her to Disney World when they were like 6. She came down to Disney World with us for like a week, 6 or 7. And we were great friends with Molly's parents. We did everything together. And the thing was, Mallory doesn't do this, I guess, because she makes TikTok videos. That kind of steps in. Now she has a phone at 13. But when Paige was little and Molly got together, and Molly had a little brother named Josh, about 3 years younger, they would always go in the other room and put on like they'd make up a skit, kind of like they would lip sync a music video, basically. And they would come back in and be like, hey, everybody's got to watch. And the one they always did was Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, that song. And they had they acted it out, and Josh, the little brother, had to be the skater boy and come through in his skateboard. It was so funny. But I'm glad you're not, the skit thing lives on, but I think now it's just probably moved to TikTok. Who knows? Okay, let's get to today's story. Oh, before I want to get to what we're getting ready to do down at Walt Disney World, which is what we're going to talk about today, I had to give you guys a tip first. And this is huge for anybody that's going down to Walt Disney World soon. If you're like me and you're an Apple fan, which some people are, some people aren't, and I will not judge. I love my Apple stuff. But just Monday, Apple came out with a new iOS update. So an update to the operating system for mobile devices like iPads, iPhones, and there's a Watch OS, and there's a iPad, there's a TV OS and stuff like that. Anyhow, this is what you need to know. Breaking news. If you have an iPhone with Face ID, okay, so like a 10, 11, or a 12, so any phone from like the last 3 or 4 years, and you have an Apple Watch, and I have an old Apple Watch. This is a Series 3. This is one of the first ones because it works. Like, it tells me the time, and I fill my circles, and that's really all I need. So if you have an Apple Watch and an iPhone, when you go to Walt Disney World, this is a game changer for you. So what they did in the new iOS update, one of the main reasons they updated this is so that you can unlock your phone with Face ID with your mask on, right? I know you're thinking, no, you can't do that because it's Face ID, right? I mean, you're covered up. All you got your eyes. Nope. What it does is, and here's kind of how it works. And this is besides Walt Disney World, but think about how many times you open your phone at Walt Disney World to check My Disney Experience, or somebody's texting you, or you want to send a picture to grandma, or what have you. I bet you easily unlock your phone 100 times in a day at Walt Disney World. Easily. And when I was down there in August and in December, I type in my code, and that gets so tiresome. I know are we like the ultimate and lazy nowadays, right? That's like 6 or 7 or 8 numbers to type in. Nope, we don't want to do that. So anyway, the way this works is you have to download iOS 14.5 on your iPhone. So just go to your settings app, and under general, it'll say software update that. It takes a little bit of time, about an hour. Then here's the trick though. You got to also update the OS on your watch. It's 7.4. So you go back to your phone again, go to the Apple Watch app. And again, there'll be a software update. You got to have your Apple Watch on the charger. It has to be at least 50%. It'll give it time. You don't want to brick your watch. Takes about an hour to do that. Now, once you have both updated, 7.4 on your watch, 14.5 on your iPhone, there is a setting which will come up. So if you try to cover your, what I did, I didn't have a mask on. I was sitting on the couch. So I just covered up my face like this with my shirt and did that. And it came up and said, do you want to unlock your phone with your Apple Watch? I said, yes. And it takes me to settings. You go through a few settings, whatever you're comfortable with. And the way it works is, so when you put your Apple Watch on, you have to type in your little code to kind of get everything to work, to unlock it. Basically, you unlock it. That's it's called authenticating. As long as your watch stays unlocked and authenticated on your wrist, when you hold up your iPhone to your face, even with a mask on, it'll give you a little haptic feedback on your wrist and it'll unlock your phone. It lets you know on your wrist though, so your phone just got unlocked. So if your phone gets way far apart from your watch, like any kind of distance, it locks back up. So nobody can steal your phone while it's unlocked and use it. So just a good tip. So you have it in your hand. You won't have to keep typing in the code. 14.5 and 7.4. You got to update your Apple Watch and your iPhone. and then you're good to go. So I'll be using that. And I'll get some feedback on that next Thursday when we get back. All right. So headed down to Walt Disney World. Our flight today is at 1:50. And I'll tell you why I'm kind of excited about our flight time today. Totally a coincidence. Didn't know this was going to happen, but the Cardinals play the Phillies today in an afternoon game at 12:15. So about 50% of the time we take off to the east. It depends which way the wind's blowing, right? But sometimes I'd say probably 40% of the time we take off to the east and probably 60 to the west. But if we take off to the east today, we'll fly directly over Busch Stadium and we'll get to peek down and see the Cardinals game for a second. So I'm super excited about that. Maybe get a picture of the Cardinals and Phillies playing baseball with the arch and all that stuff in the river. So excited for that. I do like flying. It's a lot of fun. And I'm glad because this time, Mallory's going and Pam's going. So it's exciting. Paige is getting back from Colorado. She went out to see a friend, so she's not going. But it's always more fun to go with friends and family. So we are going to have a good time. We fly out at 1:50. We're going to go to the airport early and have lunch there. Mallory likes the airport just like me. We're kind of my wife always says apple and tree. I like the airport. I think it's kind of fun. So we'll maybe catch some lunch before our flight at 1:50, watch the Cardinals game at the airport, and then head down. We land at, I think 5:10 is the time we land. We are going to Uber over to the Hilton at Disney Springs because obviously we can't use Magical Express. And tonight, everything's kind of open tonight because we're going down for Mallory's cheerleading. It's called the Summit Cheerleading Championships. And this year it's going to be huge. It's big anyway in normal years, but obviously 2020 last year, all these teams had qualified for the summit in Walt Disney World, which happens April and May every year. Well, all these teams had qualified because the season basically starts in the fall. So each weekend, these teams get these qualifying bids. So tons of teams had qualified in the 2020 season, but then of course, Summit was canceled because Walt Disney World was closed. So this year, all the teams that qualified for the 2021 season are in, and all the teams who had bids last year are in. So there's going to be a lot of teams down there. And I mean, it's a lot of teams in a normal year. We're down there in 2019. There were bows and hairspray everywhere. This year, there's going to be more teams. But, a lot of these teams qualify every year. So it's not double the teams. It's probably maybe 33% more if I had to guess or something like that. But we'll see. Now, what happens is these teams, they compete basically Saturday is the big competition for the division that Mallory's in. There's two major kind of categories. She's in the all-star cheer, and then there's Worlds. Worlds is like the ultimate cheerleaders. They're the ones you would see on TV. They're throwing people 30 feet in the air, doing 17 flips. And, it's unbelievable. Like I didn't know about this stuff until Mallory got into it. Now watch it like there's some gyms. I mean, she's always watching this stuff online. But there's a gym out of Miami called Top Gun. I mean, they're unbelievable. Like, it's crazy. Just look it up. Just hit YouTube and do Top Gun All-Stars or something like that. And you'll see how crazy athletic these cheerleaders are. So anyway, they're the ultimate. They're towards the end of the weekend. We're kind of the intermediate. We're not that crazy. And there's different levels for different stunts you can do and so forth and tumbling skills. But we're going to be on Saturday. So we're going down today to kind of get settled. We'll get in this evening. Tomorrow, the girls basically get together. And the reason they're staying at the Hilton, because we had a sweet deal at Coronado Springs through this cheerleading competition. I saw the rates, and I mean, right, I'm a travel agent. That's what I do. And with the rates, I said, oh, how can we not stay at Coronado, man? It was like cheaper than Pop Century for most dates. But the gym gets to pick it. We didn't get to pick. And they made the wrong decision. But no, anyway, I won't hold it against them. The reason we're staying at the Hilton is because they're going to put a practice floor in the ballrooms so that all the teams that want to stay there can just easily go down to the ballroom and run through their routines on Friday nights. They can get like one last practice in a controlled environment. Because I think I mentioned this on a podcast a few weeks back that Uh, some of these teams stay at the All-Stars. Now, this year, of course, movies is the only All-Star that's open. But under normal circumstances, you have teams at sports, music, movies, and there's some at pop. They're all over the values and a lot, and also a lot of the Port Orleans resorts, Riverside and French Quarter. And so what you would see is these teams would be out in between the buildings doing their run throughs, and there'd be girls flying and they're building out there, especially at sports where you got that football field out there right between the buildings. I mean, it's a nut house, but I mean, who wants to practice outside in Florida this time of year? I know, looked at the forecast, the high is going to be 91 every day we're down there. So that would be pretty uncomfortable. So the girls now have at the Hilton, they have a ballroom, they can do their run throughs, they can practice. And then Friday, that's kind of the day where they do they're going to have like a team meal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for like a 3-minute competition. I just got to say, but I mean, hey, it's fun. It's athletics. Now the deal on Saturday is if you hit, which hit is good. If you don't know cheerleading, you want to hit 0, no deductions. And if you make it through, like you're one of the top teams, you go on to Sunday, boom. It's like the Elite 8 to the Final 4. You move on to Sunday, and then Sunday is like where the rubber meets the road, and that's the championships. So some teams will get eliminated on Saturday. Some teams will make it to Sunday, and then you'll compete again on Sunday. Then they'll give the trophy, and that's it on Sunday. So we're going to work through that. You'll see a lot of that stuff. So obviously, and the girls are not allowed to go into the parks until after the competition on Sunday. So that's why you will not see us kind of in the parks a whole lot initially when we get there tonight. Tonight, my plan is to check out the hotel for a little bit, go over to Disney Springs, get dinner, and do some shopping, maybe get a donut, Everglazed. I just want to hang out. Just ease my way back into being at Walt Disney World. I love being there. Then tomorrow, here's the other thing though. So tomorrow, Mallory's got these practices, these team meetings, they're having a team dinner. They do all this bonding stuff, which I always say, why are they not bonded by now? They've been together for a whole year. If you're not bound now, you're not ever going to bond, but it's a girl thing. Anyway, we were at dinner the other night having pizza. We met Pam after school because we had to do a whole bunch of running. So we grabbed some pizza. So while I was waiting for the pizza to show up to our table, I'm clicking on my Disney experience just for me, right? Because Mallory has all this stuff on Friday and Pam is going to make sure she gets all of her stuff done. So I'm just like clicking. I cannot get a theme, right? There's no theme park reservations right now for Friday or Saturday. So I'm just like Friday, Saturday. And I didn't care really what park because, I'll go to any park. I love all the 4 parks. And also I have an annual pass so I can hop at 2:00. I go to any other park. Anyway, I'm just clicking to Friday, Magic Kingdom. Nope. Epcot. Nope. Disney's Hollywood Studios. Boom. I got in. I almost had Pam was like, what? I said, I just got a theme park reservation for Friday for Hollywood Studios. That's like the golden ticket. So anyway, tomorrow I'll probably be going over to Hollywood Studios for just a bit to check it out. I'll try to get a boarding group. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. Either way, I'll probably go over and ride Mickey and Minnie's. Just be at the studios for a little bit and come back to the hotel, do the dad thing. And then we are having dinner tomorrow night at Olivia's. So I'm super excited about that. Pam and I are going to go over to Olivia's and have dinner, my buttermilk chicken. And then that'll be it for Friday. We'll kind of ease back to the hotel. Saturday is all about the competition. We'll catch up. We all actually, even as parents, have to ride a big motor coach over to ESPN Wide World of Sports for the competition. They let you in, you watch your squad, they shuttle you out and all that stuff. And there's no food service, they said at ESPN, but they will have food trucks. So we'll be having some kind of food truck food over at ESPN. Apparently they said in the information. And then Saturday night, we'll probably ease back into, Saturday night. How could I miss this? Paradiso 37. That's the night we're eating at Paradiso 37. So watch for that Saturday night. Breaking news. Could be my new favorite restaurant. We'll have to see. I feel good about it. I don't know how it's going to go, but I feel good about it. Then Sunday, hopefully we'll be competing on Sunday. Get up, compete. And I do have so Sunday, Pam, Mallory and I, after the competition, we have a theme park reservation for Epcot. Epcot's open till 10, so we'll go over there and check out Flower and Garden. Just stroll around there, have dinner over there somewhere, maybe snack and enjoy Epcot. And then Monday we're headed over to, I had Epcot again as the only one I could get for Monday. But at the last minute last week, I got a Magic Kingdom for us for Monday. So Pam has to fly home at 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon because she has to teach Tuesday. So we're going to go to Magic Kingdom on Monday. It opens at 8. So we can get quite a bit done in that time before Pam has to bail out, get back to the hotel to catch Magical Express. Oh, and by the way, we're staying at Coronado in the tower starting on Sunday night. So we'll have lots of pictures from Coronado for you as well, videos and stuff. If there's anything you guys need, let me know in the Patreon. If you guys have any questions, I will be watching the Patreon Discord channel. So if you need anything there, drop it in. I'll check there and get back to you right away. But yeah, so we will be over Coronado Monday morning. We'll be at the Magic Kingdom. And then when Pam leaves, I have my annual pass. Mallory has a hopper that came with her cheerleading competition packet. So Monday night, who knows where we'll go? We can go wherever we want. We might go to the studios and ride Mickey and Minnie's because Mallory likes that ride. Go through Galaxy's Edge, whatever. Ride Rock and Roller Coaster. We both like that ride. So after Monday night, it'll just be Mallory and I. And then we come home Wednesday. So Tuesday, we have a Magic Kingdom theme park reservation for the morning, as we do Wednesday, because that's the only two I could get. So we'll go to Magic Kingdom in the mornings on those 2 days, knock stuff out, and then head to maybe Animal Kingdom and at Epcot. And we'll have a good time. So as you can tell, I'm talking a mile a minute, really, really excited for this trip. And what I'm really excited about is that this gives me the opportunity to, again, get more firsthand knowledge on the evolution of how Disney is doing things. We were there 3 weeks after the parks reopened in August, and it was a ghost town. We went back in December for the Give Kids the World fundraiser, and it was not a ghost town anymore, but it was different, but it was getting there. It was getting back to normal. I'm excited to get down there here at the beginning of May and to see how things have evolved from August to May so that I can share that on the podcast and help people plan better trips, of course, with the travel agency as well. So I'm excited for that, but mostly I love sharing this stuff on social media. So do follow me at BRGuestMike on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll be putting all this stuff up there. But if you want to see anything, you have any questions, you want me to try to figure something out, maybe you're heading down soon, you're like, oh, I wonder, what's the latest on that? Just let me know, because I will have time, because this isn't a race weekend for me, so it's not so hectic. It's just it's a reconnaissance mission. It's to make sure that I'm in touch with everything that's happening so we can all collectively plan better trips. So that's where we're at. Again, still haven't packed my suitcase. We leave in about an hour. So I need to duck out of here and get on that. Also, if you need anything and you're one of my guests over at the Magic for Less, Kathy, my colleague, she's in Pittsburgh, right next to Pam, actually, is where she resides. She's covering for all my guests while I'm gone for this week. So if you have any questions, you can email me at my normal email address, mike.rallman@themagicforless.com. You'll get the forward, and it gives you Kathy's contact information. So you can get a contact with Kathy. She'll take great care of you. She's awesome. All right. So I am going to get out of here, pack my bags, head to Lambert International Airport, get ready to get on my Southwest jet and head to Florida. Isn't that the best? How lucky are we that we get to do this every once in a while? It's always so much fun. And what makes it fun for me, again, is that you guys give me feedback on social media. I'm excited, but I also like to share this stuff. And I like to see all of your trips. When I'm here at home and I'm not going down, it's always fun to see what you're up to down there. If you're having a donut at Everglazed, I'm jealous, but I'm happy for you. It's my turn to go get a donut. So be happy for me. You don't have to be jealous. You'll be down there soon. That's how this thing works. All right. I'm going to get out of here, go pack my bags, get ready to cheer on Platinum Athletics from Maryland Heights, Missouri this weekend and see what they can do. So everybody out there, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.